Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Turnbow. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome. Go ahead and mute yourself, and then we'll get started. So I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a mama. I am a CrossFit coach. I'm a personal trainer, but my passion is nutrition. My passion is teaching people that food really does heal the body. So tonight you're going to be hearing from myself and some of our partners. We've joined on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple, and it will remain simple because it's food. It's food that our bodies need on a daily basis. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's an amazing, easy concept. I'm going to start by showing you our fruit, our vegetable, and our berry blend. These three blends are 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule. They're better than organic. They're non-GMO, picked at the peak of ripeness with an NSF seal of approval. And what that means, that is what is in the product is on the label. So for instance, this is our berry blend, and the label reads raspberry, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate, grape, blackcurrant, blackberry, elderberry, artichoke, and cocoa. So my favorite part of our label is this right here. I don't know if you can see it, but our label has a nutrition label. I told you earlier that Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. That's why we can carry a nutrition label. It's food in a capsule. We also have our full spectrum of plant-based omegas. This is a 100% vegan product. Juice Plus has cut out the middleman. We all know that we should get our omega-3s from fish oil, right? So Juice Plus cut out the fish, went straight to what the fish eat, which is algae oil. And so our product is algae oil, pomegranate seed oil, tomato seed oil, and there's a couple more in there as well, with a full spectrum, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 of plant-based omegas. The 4 capsules together are just, they just make you unstoppable. I love them so much. I take them every morning with a complete shake. Our complete shake is also a vegan product. They come in chocolate and vanilla. And I'm kind of lazy, so I just mix mine with water. But I hear if you mix it with almond milk or coconut milk, it's amazing. But I use those every day to swallow my capsules. That's how I start every morning. We also have another protein called Perform that has more grams of protein per serving. And I typically take the Perform. It's a berry blend of product, but I usually take that during my workout. So I kind of start to sip on it before, I sip on it during, and finish it up after my workout. So love using the Perform. It's made a huge difference in my workouts. Last but not least, I'm not done. We're almost done. We have an aeroponic growing system where you can grow your own food in your house, outside of your house, wherever you want. If you live in Alaska where it's freezing, you can grow your own food because it lights itself, it waters itself. I live in Indiana. We have a very short growing season. So I love that I can grow fresh produce all year long and pick it in the winter. And it's just literally 10 steps that I have to take to get fresh produce. So check out our tower garden. If you haven't heard about it, make sure you talk to whoever invited you to this call because it's a pretty amazing thing. So we have an awesome lineup of speakers tonight. Tammy Lamason has got some people,
my best friends.
Their stories. So Tammy, go ahead and unmute yourself. And we'll let you start to introduce your team so we can hear their awesome stories.
I sure will. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. You know, if you are a guest tonight, you are here because someone cared enough about you that they wanted you to hear these stories. They're life-changing. And I am so honored to be able to be here. We've been taking Juice Plus as a family for 20 plus years. And I have 3 children. They are now all adults, but they were 7, 4, and 1 when we started, and we absolutely will not be without all of the products, everything Carol mentioned, along with 3 of those growing things or tower gardens. We've got 2 outside and 1 inside, and so they're amazing and life-changing. But tonight, I am so excited because I want you to hear some life-changing stories from my amazing teammates, friends, we call each other family because we truly are friends that have become family. So I am first going to ask Misty Thomas to share. She is from right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I am from. And I met her at the gym, and she just started her Juice Plus journey in February of this year. And I'm going to let Misty share her story, but I'm so excited about what Juice Plus and what the power of whole food has done for her. So Misty, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, Tammy. And I just want to say throughout high school and college, French fries and sweet tea and sweet everything were diet staples for me. And at age 20, I was diagnosed with depression, and doctors put me on antidepressants 3 different times throughout my 20s. The antidepressants never worked for me except to make me gain 40 pounds. So when I turned 30, I knew I had to do something else about the insomnia and the fatigue symptoms. So I started praying and searching. And I learned that diet and exercise play a huge role in mental health. So I knew I had to make a change. I joined a gym and I started eating better. And I felt like I turned my first corner just by becoming aware. I tried eliminating sugar, and I compensated with eating more meat. And for the first time in my life, I started dealing with high cholesterol levels. So I knew I had to find a plant-based protein. And the first ones I tried were supposedly the best, but I could not live with the taste. And that's when Tammy Lamason, who was already my friend from the gym, like she said, invited me over to make protein balls using the Juice Plus Complete. And they tasted more like a dessert than they did a healthy snack that I can eat every day. And I also noticed that a really neat tall contraption, she had growing vegetables inside her kitchen. I knew right away that Juice Plus Complete was my answer for the healthy protein, not only because it was clean, which was really important to me, but also because it tasted so good. And I left Tammy's that day wanting that tower garden to grow my own food in my own kitchen. So Tammy also introduced me to the brand new Juice Plus Pink drink when it came out, and told me it had twice the protein and helped with muscle repair, which was important for the gym. And I ordered it immediately, and I ended up asking Tammy a ton of questions. And before I knew it, I had signed up as a partner. And it really was a no-brainer because it's such a low buy-in and there are no quotas. And I'm also planning a mission trip to the Middle East, and I knew the income could help me pay my way. Once I signed up, I ordered all the capsules that Carol was just talking about. The omegas really got me excited because I'm at an age where I need all the extra brain food I can get. But I've also learned to put them on my face. And I even had a customer immediately order the omegas after she saw what it did for my skin after just 2 applications. And by the way, a few weeks after I signed up, I ordered my very own tower garden. And the only reason I was able to afford it was because I could pay it monthly, interest-free, and pay it off in a year. So I only have a few months left in that. Juice Plus has answered so many prayers for me and my family. I love knowing that my nephew Langston is getting the nutrition he needs, no matter what he's putting in his teenager stomach. Plus, his capsules are free. And my 91-year-old granny, who we are trying to keep around as long as possible, she and my dad have both had improved lab reports since starting Juice Plus. And my mom and I both lost weight. In fact, I dropped 10 pounds right off the bat after starting Juice Plus. Another thing is because I've lived overseas, I know how important hospitality is to internationals. And Juice Plus gives me an opportunity to meet in their homes so I can help share my health journey with them and hear where they are on theirs. And it helps me practice my Spanish. I don't struggle with high cholesterol anymore or depression. Plus, I'm sleeping better and I have more energy. In fact, one of my customers had to start taking her Juice Plus in the mornings because she took it at night and felt so much energy when she was going to bed. Juice Plus was definitely the puzzle piece I was looking for, certainly for health, but also financially. And I always say health is a journey and we're all somewhere on it. I love that I'm only getting healthier. And our company makes sure Juice Plus gets more fun every day. And not to mention all the forever friends I've made through Juice Plus. So thank you for letting me share my story, Tammy.
Oh, I love that, Misty. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying yes and trusting me from the gym. I love that. And it's only going to get better. Absolutely. Well, next, I am excited to be able to introduce you to Kara Beaman. She is from North Carolina, a mommy of 2 beautiful boys. There she is. She snuck out onto the porch so that she could have a little peace and quiet. And I love, she's been taking Juice Plus now for 5 years. She's a nurse, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Kara. Take it away.
Okay, hey guys. So I've been a nurse for 10 years, and Tammy told you a little bit about myself. I have a lot I feel like I want to say in 5 minutes, but so my life before Juice Plus, I've been married to my husband for 9 years now, but our first 4 years of marriage, when I was not taking Juice Plus, we were like passing ships in the night. We both worked 12-hour shifts. We were honestly still trying to figure out how to be married and live on our own. We ate a lot of pre-made meals, a lot of leftovers, quick options, just not a lot of variety of foods. Maybe one night a week we would make an actual meal that had a balanced meal. So schedules made this hard for us. I learned pretty quick how much effort it takes, being out on your own and trying to figure out meal planning and being healthy. And it was just hard, working nights and things like that. So while being a nurse, I knew what I was supposed to be eating, but I just wasn't doing it. I let time and energy and schedules get in the way. With all this said, I'm not perfect and I still binge on something that I want every now and then, but now being around this group of people, and the research that I have seen with Juice Plus over the past 5 years, I'm just much more aware, and I like how it's been a transitional process, a lifestyle change. Why I said yes to Juice Plus. I went to a Juice Plus event when I was 10 weeks pregnant with my first baby. I immediately just said, yes, sign me up. I don't know how to even have to take care of myself and make sure I'm getting everything I need. So how am I supposed to do that with another little human being? I felt like I was, just trying to make it work, but my mom had 3 miscarriages. And I just was concerned that, oh no, what if that, passes along to me? So I want to do everything that I can. And at the time I worked in labor and delivery as a nurse on night shift. So I just felt like it was just going to benefit me all around. And I did see recently, Dr. Doug Odom had performed his own clinical trial as an OBGYN at the end of his retirement. And he did that on a group of some of his patients. And it showed that there were no gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, or preterm labor in this certain group of people. And just hearing that confirms like, hey, I'm so glad I took that while I was pregnant with Eli, because you never know if I would have had issues or no issues or how it benefited me. And I really do believe that it benefited me. Since I worked in labor and delivery, I sort of saw stuff like that. And after seeing that this product is one of the most researched nutritional item out there with all of the clinical trials that they do and the clinical studies, I felt good about, I even stopped my prenatal vitamins and just took a bunch of Juice Plus. So I felt confident in Juice Plus enough to do that, or I wouldn't have done it. Juice Plus for my family, prior to Juice Plus, I would break out in random hives all over my body. just random miserable hives without a cause. And I'm so glad to say that I have not had any outbreak in hives since I started Juice Plus in January of 2018. And Eli also, so he was, he was given Juice Plus, almost my whole pregnancy while I breastfed. And then after I stopped breastfeeding, I noticed that his whole diet changed. We went through some bowel issues with him. And then, it dawned on me one day after talking to Tammy, after he was a little bit older, that I could give him the capsules and the gummies. And I started doing that. And we were on a bunch of Miralax, just trying to get water in him. And I am so happy to say that we have tapered off of the Miralax. We're totally on Juice Plus. He has no bowel issues, no problems. Pooping, being regular, he's happier, and I'm happier. Also, it's just been proof to me that it keeps you regular, and I'm so relieved to say he's completely normal now with all that. And our family of 4 has only collectively gotten sick, I would say, a handful of times since the boys have been born. Even the pediatrician noticed at Jacob's 18-month appointment. She was like, "Oh, I haven't seen you guys. Have you seen somebody else?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Oh, you've only been to a few little sick visits since, Eli, he's almost 4. So that was good. It helped my mom's cholesterol, my hives, Eli. I just believe in it. It truly works. And then why I chose to share Juice Plus with others is, sorry, I'm looking at some notes because I get nervous. When I had been taking it for 3.5 years, I wanted to share it with others. I work in pre-op now with the operating room as a nurse. And I just see a lot of surgery, probably 60 surgeries a day. And just a raw number out of the top of my head, if I had to give you my opinion, probably 80% of those are preventable. I would say 20% of those are genetically sort of issue that maybe passed down, but I would say 80% are preventable. And half of my patients don't even know what the medications that they're taking, what they do for them. They just take them and they don't really know what they're there for. They don't try to change their lifestyle. They're just going to go in for a Band-Aid and a quick fix. And I hate to sound blunt, but it's just what I see on a daily basis. And I think that's why I chose to start sharing it more with others. It's because I'm like, why would we not prevent, if we could prevent in my head around 80% of these surgeries? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to ourselves, and why are we not telling other people about it? Just because it could be, half of the stuff could be prevented, and really they're not educated. In medicine, it's more like a Band-Aid and not, let's not treat the cause, let's treat the symptom, and just let's move on and let's do something, quick fix. But being with Juice Plus people for the past 5 years, I want to say I've learned more about trying to meal prep and changing little lifestyle habits and taking my Juice Plus, and I just feel better. And I completely believe in it. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, Kara, thank you so much. Yes, you're a part of the Juice Plus community. We do talk about poop. You become regular. That is one of the things. So I love that both the boys are regular, you're regular, and then you're seeing it, and you feel that ethical obligation to share because of what you see every single day as a nurse. So thank you so much for sharing your story. So powerful. Next up, I am excited to be able to introduce you to a dear friend of mine, Dare Spicer. She's also in North Carolina, and she is new to the Juice Plus family as well. She's been taking Juice Plus since April, and she is on fire wanting to share it with everyone because she knows the difference. I can't wait for you to hear her story as well. She is the CEO of the Randolph County Family Crisis Center. She has a very full plate, so knows that she needs good nutrition in every day just to be able to keep all the plates spinning. So Dare, I'm going to hand it over to you, friend.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. So before Juice Plus, I just have to say, we were sitting on the couch, my husband and I, watching TV. And I got up off the couch and I was like, oh, grunting and groaning because my knees hurt. And he looked at me and he said, Muffin, you have got to do something about our situation or we will never be able to play with our grandchildren. And I said, okay, you're right. I've got to do something. So that's where we were, and we were having breathing problems and a little overweight and had high cholesterol and digestive issues. And I had COVID and my hair fell out and breathing problems. And we'd go to the beach and I could hardly carry my chair to the beach. I mean, just a hot mess over here, I'm telling you. So we have these issues. My husband has said, you know, Muffin, you've got to fix this. So I said, okay, you're right. So I thought, okay, who do I know? What do I know? And I thought, oh, there's that Tammy Lamason lady. I wonder, you know, what she's doing, because years ago, I knew her in Ashboro, and she had talked to my son's Cub Scout group about Juice Plus. And I thought, well, I'm going to try to find her. And if she's still in the company, it must be a good company. You know, it must be reputable. And I know how I am. I am very busy. I hate exercise. I don't even like to watch people exercise. So I'm going to need a program that is simple, effective, and affordable. And what do you know? There's Juice Plus. So it was going to meet those needs, because, you know, we need baby steps. Those of us who hate exercise and everything about exercise, which we're working on. I bought the cute sneakers, you know, so I'm making some baby steps. So within the first couple of weeks, the first thing we noticed was I had more energy. And, you know, and I do have a lot of energy, but most of my energy is early in the day. And then I would, you know, peter out through the day. But we started sleeping better. And even as my Mima would say, my BMs were regular. My cholesterol got better. I dropped 10 pounds. I'm not having joint pain. I'm not grunting and groaning. And this is the greatest thing. Tammy loves this story. So not only can I carry my chair to the beach, but this girl that works for me, she said, I had told her about Juice Plus, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, you've got to do Juice Plus. This is the greatest thing ever. And I said, you know, I want you to do this because everybody should do it. But she said, well, when you can do a cartwheel, I will get on Juice Plus. So on one of our beach trips, I did a cartwheel. Rodney videoed it. We sent it to her. So when I got back to work, she said, okay, sign me up. So she's on Juice Plus. So this is like the funniest story. And Tammy doesn't know this, but today, one of the girls in my office, now, you know, I'm like the boss. She said, okay, you do a split and I'll buy Juice Plus. And I was like, well, okay. So, you know, I tried. And another coworker said, oh, it's the pants. But anyway, so the reason that I just love Juice Plus, I just have to say, and I just think everybody should be on it. But as a business, I just think that Juice Plus financially, the reason I wanted to be a partner is because working for a nonprofit for the last 15 years, you know, anybody that works with a nonprofit, you know, you don't make the salary. And I mean, my salary is not horrible, but you don't make the salary and you don't have the retirement fund that people in the corporate world have. So in looking at that recently, I thought, oh gosh, I really need to do something about this. So Juice Plus can provide that for me. You know, it can increase my retirement situation, but not only that, I take about half of what I make with Juice Plus and I give that to others to bless them or to bless an event or, you know, something like that. Because I just feel so blessed by having this opportunity. And, you know, when, you know, Roddy and I were just feeling so bad and I was praying and I was like, Lord, something's got to give here. And who knew, you know, that it would be vegetables and berries and fruits that are put into pills that I could just swallow and feel better. So I'm just excited and I love the friends that I've made and this journey. And I'm glad to be here with y'all.
Oh, I love that, Dare. Thank you. Well, as you can tell, she's on fire and she's sharing it with everybody, and she will do a cartwheel for you if you ask her to. That's awesome. Okay, the splits, I'll have to see that video later. That's amazing. Well, last up, I am so excited to be able to share a husband-wife duo. I have seen true transformation in their life over the last year, and I love, love, love their story. I love how they honor one another. I love how they're in this together. And it is such a beautiful story. Matthew and Lisa Menez, they are also from North Carolina and Indian Trail right outside of Charlotte, and have been a part of Juice Plus now. Lisa, is it 6 years? I think it's 6 years. Yep. And such special friendship. I would have never met Lisa and Matthew other than Juice Plus. And so what a blessing it is to be able to call her one of my dearest friends. So Lisa, I'm going to hand it over to you and Matthew, and how you want to tag team it, that is up to you.
Actually, he's going to go first. So
Thanks, Tammy. So yes, we're Matthew and Lisa Minnis. We're from the Charlotte area. I'm gonna start a little bit about how we've been eating Juice Plus for 6 years. It was 6 years, June 1st of this summer. So, I look at life. Everybody has a trajectory. It's one of my favorite words, right? Everyone's life has a trajectory. And as I look back at our lives before we started eating Juice Plus, personally, my trajectory was health-wise was not a positive direction. I'll take you back to a couple of years before Juice Plus came into our lives. I had a long-standing history in my family of cardiac problems and events. My grandfather passed away from congestive heart failure. In 2014, my older brother, at 46 years old, died from cardiac related issues. And that it sent me into a little bit of an emotional tailspin. There's always the stress of grief and loss, but it had a profound effect on me. And I started questioning. I spent, almost 2 years questioning, what do I need to do? It's one of those things you get into a little bit of analysis paralysis, I call it. I had some significant health issues of my own. While my own lipid profile and cardiac stuff had been reasonably good, right? I had adult onset asthma, and I was on multiple inhalers, some of which were steroid based, and I had gained weight because of that. I have in my adult life dealt with chronic sinus headaches that very easily turned into migraines, to the point where I was kind of living on a combination of Advil, Tylenol, decongestants, and prescription meds here and there. And if I'm honest, I was pushing 300 pounds by the time we hit June of 2016. I wasn't able to keep up with our boys. We have 2 sons. They're now almost 17 and 13. They were 11 and 7 at the time. Boys, active, running, and I was not keeping up. And our oldest even had some chronic health issues that he was dealing with. The most significant one was he was chronically getting strep throat. 6 times a year, consistently. So, I was fortunate enough that a neighbor I saw at the pool was brave and struck up a conversation with me and told me about Juice Plus. I had known something needed to change, but I didn't know what. I peppered her with some questions. It seemed the simplicity of Juice Plus really struck me. The fact that it was whole food nutrition, that kind of food the way God intended it to go into our bodies, right? Not processed, not a bunch of vitamins that had been made in the lab, not a bunch of processed food, not a bunch of gimmickry or, special ingredients that they were trying to sell, just food. And that spoke to me. And I went home that day and I said to Lisa, something needs to change and we need to try this. We need to do this. I said, the worst thing that happens is nothing changes, right? The best thing that happens is that things do change. So, what I'll tell you is a lot changed. I have been, since a very short time after starting on Juice Plus, I have been off my inhalers. I have a rescue inhaler and I use it, I use it a few times a year at most. The frequency of my headaches, my sinus headaches has been reduced by probably about 80%. And I get maybe one, maybe 2 migraines a year in the worst case scenario, which I cannot even begin to tell you how debilitating that can be. And to not have that happening with the same frequency has been such a load off of me. Our son, who was chronically getting strep, to the point of self-diagnosing with the pediatrician, and never wrong, by the way, he's been strep-free, completely strep-free for 6 years. I've noticed that it's not like that we don't get sick, but what I've noticed is the intensity and the length of time that we're sick is so much shorter than it used to be. The overall health of our family has changed. What I think is the most important is this was something that started in me, movement toward a healthier lifestyle. The past, it took me a while to kind of build up some steam, but I eat a much more focused diet today.
Mhm.
I walk. I hate exercise. I'm with you, Dare. I hate exercise too. But I get up and I walk every morning, and now I want to do that. And the proof is in the pudding, right? Because I've lost in the past year 45 pounds, and I'm only about halfway to my goal, but I'm motivated. And so proper nutrition has just it started the cycle, and it started the movement in the right direction. So many other changes, so many other positive things have followed since then. So I'm gonna let Lisa talk about her story too.
Well, thank you for having us, and thank you, honey. He was the one who heard about Juice Plus first, as he mentioned, the neighbor who told him about it. I was in the pool with my boys. I didn't know this conversation happened until we got home, and he said, "We need this, and can we work it into the budget?" I'm the budget girl. So I was like, "What are we talking about?" And he told me, and we ordered it because it made sense. And what we decided to do, though, is we decided to become partners at the same time, or at least me, my name's on the partnership. Honestly, because I wanted the best price. I'm just going to be real. So again, I'm the budget girl, so I wanted the best price, and it just made sense. And I am a former marketing professional. I was in the corporate world for many, many years before we had our oldest. And then I became a stay-at-home mom. And so I've seen business models for businesses. And I know what corporate America looks like. I know what the 401k looks like. I know about the retirement. Dare, I'm with you, and the annual review and the merit increase and the atta girl, good job on that project. And I left all that behind to be a mom. And I don't regret it for a moment, but I miss some of those accolades. And I miss the atta girl, because you don't get that when you're nursing a baby. You just don't. So what I have found with this business is some of those gaps have been filled. So let me go back a little bit. But I was a stuck stay-at-home mom after being home for many years with my boys, and we thought we were eating healthy, but we weren't. And so then we hear about Juice Plus, and I had tried other network marketing businesses because I knew the model worked. And I knew it was in its most basic principle, it was a great idea. And it was a great idea for stay-at-home moms to be able to do a business from anywhere. I had tried skincare products. I had tried children's books. I had tried jewelry. They're all great, trust me, but they're not going to change your life. Earrings are cute, but they're not going to change your life. And so I had some network marketing scars from those companies. They're great companies, but there wasn't nearly the support or the development or any of that I got from Juice Plus, but I didn't know any of that yet. So I told my sponsor, I'm not telling anybody about this. And she was like, okay. And I just took my capsules, but a few months later, we started feeling better. And then I'm like, oh dear, now I got to tell people. Because I have friends with kids with strep and snotty noses, and they're at the doctor all the time. And Tammy and I have a very similar story with super sick kids, and you're at the doctor all the time. So then I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out how to share this, because it's better than lipstick and earrings, and it just is. And that's when I started getting out of my comfort zone. So this business has been such a catalyst for me personally. I've heard it described as it's a personal development program, just masquerading as a business. And it's the truth. I'd never heard about personal development. And I was in corporate America for a long time. I went to grad school. I have an MBA. I should have heard about personal development. Never heard about it until I joined this community. And now I'm growing more than I ever did with corporate trainings or any of that nonsense that I went through back in the day. I also have gained friendships. So Tammy mentioned that we have become super precious friends. In all of this past 6 years, I lost my sponsor, and she and I walked through that together. And now she's my upline, my direct upline. And we have become such precious friends. During COVID, we were all shut down. I talk to her every day on Voxer. We don't live in the same state, but we always kept in touch. And I think so many people were so isolated, but I had my Juice Plus pals. I had people all across the country who I was staying in touch with because we did long distance relationships in the first place. So we stayed in touch, and that was huge. That was so huge. So as far as the other benefits, again, Matthew talked about the health. I've had my own health journey along with him. I have the cute shoes there and I use them. You got to get using them. But I'm getting close to 40 pounds lost. So between the two of us, we're 85 pounds. That's a good sized kid that we've lost. And it's been amazing. But I would not trade this business for anything because of, the paycheck is lovely. And it allows us to do extra things. When my son wants to, can I take a woodworking class? Yes, you can take the woodworking class because we have those extra funds. But more important than that is the friendships, the community that a lot of people in this world just don't have. They're very isolated. COVID notwithstanding, people are isolated, or they live life alone, and we need each other, whether it's a church community or this community. People need people, and I have my people. And so I can go days without talking to a friend from church, but man, I reach out to Tammy almost every day. So the priceless friendships, I wouldn't trade for anything. So it's such a gift to be able to share the product now. And yeah, it still scares me, and I still do personal development. And I still reach out to Tammy every day and say, what do I do? Because I'm having a frozen moment. But that connection is priceless. And I love that we get to do this together. Matthew is now part of my business, and he's going through some of his own personal development because it's scary to share. This is way harder than any of my corporate gigs, but I'm so grateful that we joined, and I'm so grateful that we're part of it together, and the amazing connections that I've made. So thank you to this community, and thank you, Tammy, for asking us to share.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. Wow. Well, as you can see, I love my people. As Lisa said, our peeps, our people. And I tell you, this is life-changing. If you have been invited tonight as a guest, I hope that at least one of these stories connected with you. Again, you were invited because somebody cared enough about you and wanted you to be able to hear that. So thank you. Thank you, Carol, for having us tonight. Thank you to all of you for sharing your stories, and get with the person that invited you. If you have more questions, it's just food. It's only going to change your life for the good.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing. We're here every Thursday night sharing our stories. We do invite all of you to stay. Tammy is going to do a business training event immediately following this event. So if you just stay on the line, we're going to have a short break here in the middle to switch the recordings, and then Tammy's going to get on and do a Zoom event. So I will see all of you next Thursday for our next event. Thank you so much. Let me stop my call here.